A document management system is a computer system used to track and store electronic documents. It is usually also capable of keeping track of the different versions modified by different users. The term has some overlap with the concepts of content management systems. It is often viewed as a component of enterprise content management systems and related to digital asset management, document imaging, workflow systems and records management systems. History: beginning in the 1980s, a number of vendors began developing software systems to manage paper-based documents. These systems dealt with paper documents, which included not only printed and published documents, but also photographs, prints, etc. Later developers began to write a second type of system which could manage electronic documents, that is, all those documents, or files, created on computers, and often stored on users' local file systems. The earliest electronic document management systems managed either proprietary file types, or a limited number of file formats. Many of these systems later became known as document imaging systems, because they focused on the capture, storage, indexing and retrieval of image file formats. EDM systems evolved to a point where systems could manage any type of file format that could be stored on the network. The applications grew to encompass electronic documents, collaboration tools, security, workflow, and auditing capabilities. These systems enabled an organization to capture faxes and forms, to save copies of the documents as images, and to store the image files in the repository for security and quick retrieval. While many EDM systems store documents in their native file format, some web-based document management systems are beginning to store content in the form of HTML. These policy management systems require content to be imported into the system. However, once content is imported, the software acts like a search engine so users can find what they are looking for faster. The HTML format allows for better application of search capabilities such as full-text searching and stemming. Components: document management systems commonly provide storage, versioning, metadata, security, as well as indexing and retrieval capabilities. Here is a description of these components. Standardization: many industry associations publish their own lists of particular document control standards that are used in their particular field. Following is a list of some of the relevant ISO documents. Divisions ICSO 1.140.10 and 01.140.20. The ISO has also published a series of standards regarding the technical documentation, covered by the division of 01.110. ISO 2709 Information and Documentation, a Euro format for information exchange. ISO 15836 Information and Documentation, a Euro the Dublin Core Metadata Element Set. ISO 15489 Information and Documentation, a Euro Records Management. ISO 21127 Information and Documentation, a Euro a Reference Ontology for the interchange of cultural heritage information. ISO 23950 Information and Documentation, a Euro Information Retrieval, a Euro Application Service Definition and Protocol Specification. ISO 10244 Document Management, a Euro Business Process Baselining and Analysis. ISO 32000 Document Management, a Euro Portable Document Format. Document control: government regulations require that companies working in certain industries control their documents. These industries include accounting, food safety, ISO, medical device manufacturing, manufacture of blood, human cells, and tissue products, healthcare, and information technology. Documents stored in a document management system are Euro documents such as procedures, work instructions, and policy statements. A Euro provide evidence of documents under control. Failing to comply could cause fines, the loss of business, or damage to a business's reputation. When working in an environment that requires document control, the following procedures are useful to document: reviewing and approving documents prior to release, reviews and approvals, ensuring changes and revisions are clearly identified, ensuring that relevant versions of applicable documents are available at their Euro points of use. Ensuring that documents remain legible and identifiable, ensuring that external documents like customer-supplied documents or supplier manuals are identified and controlled, preventing a unintended use of obsolete documents. Integrated DAM, Integrated Document Management comprises the technologies, tools, and methods used to capture, manage, store, preserve, deliver and dispose of documents across an enterprise. In this context, documents are any of a myriad of information assets including images, office documents, graphics, and drawings, as well as the new electronic objects such as web pages, email, instant messages, and video. Integrated Document Management Systems, Advanced Processing and Imaging's OptiView ECM, Alfresco, Columbia Soft, Content Central, DocCept, DocPoint, DocStar, Documentum, DocuWare, eGROU, eFile Cabinet suite of products, eXo Platform, FileNet Hummingbird DAM, Hilland Softwares on Base, InfoRouter eDMS, Laserpeak, ISIS Papyrus, Liverlink, LogicalDoc, M-Files, Nuxio, OpenKM, Perceptive Software, SharePoint, Smart Search from Square9 Softworks, Trim Context, V1 Limited, Xerox DocuShare. See also, References. External links, Software Document Management at DMOZ.